Good morning, Thrivers. Heather here. And I just felt in my heart that I needed to come and be a servant and to be an instrument today because I want to be able to help uplift and inspire others. And if you've been hurting recently, then I really want you to go through the following exercise with me. Okay, this is what my mentors had me do years ago, and it is incredibly powerful for making sure that you're on point with your life. So rewind with me 4 years ago, and I had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was pregnant with our sixth baby. 3 days after having the doctor sit down with me in his office, I remember a little white square office with just a little tiny bed on it, my husband sitting right next to me holding my hand. He looked me in the eyes behind his wiry glasses and he said, "Heather, if you do not abort your baby, things are not going to end well for you." So 3 days after that moment, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was in a beautiful, warm, sunny place. And it was green grass. There were beautiful trees. I could smell the smell of the fresh cut grass. I could feel the warmth of the sun on my face. I could feel the gentle breeze. And it just reminded me of a beautiful spring day. I could see tombstones, and I knew instantly I was in a cemetery. I could see my friends and my loved ones gathering around a white casket, and I knew that it was mine. In my dream, I saw my husband leading our 5 other children to my grave and explaining to my beautiful little daughter, "Mommy's gone now. Will you go put a flower on her grave? Will you say goodbye to mommy?" And watching her as she did that. And I looked across the way and I saw my mother-in-law, and she was holding a newborn baby wrapped in a beautiful pink hand-knit blanket. And this little newborn baby was so content, just sitting in her arms, resting in her arms, so peacefully. And I saw my very littlest girl at the time going and blowing me a kiss, saying goodbye to mommy. I saw my older boys, that they were very sad, but that my husband, he was very sad, but he was also at peace. So this brings up a lot of emotion as I saw my children saying goodbye to me. And I woke up from that dream, and there was a deep sense of peace. There was a deep sense of acceptance, a deep sense of love. However, there was also a very deep sense that I am not who I want to be, that I'm not ready to leave this life. I am not ready to say goodbye to my children. I have not become the person that I want to be. I have not been the mother that I want to be. I have not been the wife that I want to be. I have not progressed into the person. In fact, I knew with startling contrast that the way I had been living my life up until that point, I had bitterness in my heart. I was holding on to anger. I was holding on to pain. I was holding on to regret. And I knew that if I were to leave this mortal life, it wouldn't be the end, but that I would regret that I still was holding on to that pain and that bitterness, that I had yet to forgive myself, that I had yet to forgive others, that I was holding on and being a very critical, judgmental person, that I was creating unhappiness for not only myself, but for those around me, that I wasn't living true to who I knew I really could be. And somehow in the midst of life, I had let all of the distractions of living, right? Just the busyness of being a young mother, a young wife. I had completely let it take me away from what really mattered most. And I spent way too much energy concerned about, about how I looked and about how I looked on the outside and about, achieving certain milestones that in the end didn't matter. And it became crystal clear for me. It was a beautiful, beautiful, painful gift to look at myself and realize life is short and I am not who I want to be. And to have that perspective of what really mattered most. And so now doing this exercise where I envision my funeral, I envision what is going to be said about me. What is the legacy that I'm leaving behind? And what is the feeling I have in my heart about how I lived? Do I know that I forgave? Do I know that I gave love? Do I know that I made peace with myself, that I made peace with others? Do I know that I was a light and that I said what needed to be said? I spoke my truth, that I was there for my children in the most important and sacred role that I have as their mother, that I nurtured them, that I was available for them in the moments that they needed me? Or was I too distracted and too busy? Did I brush them off? No, I want to know that I was there for them, and that they know that they are loved unconditionally, that I respect their unique path, that I respect their unique journey, their unique talents, and I don't try to superimpose my vision of what their life should be on them, but I allow them that space to grow and develop and become who they're really meant to be. I want to know that at the end of my life, that I learned how to love my husband unconditionally as he showed me. It's not always that way. I'm not gonna pretend that it's always unconditional love, right? We definitely get into the giving versus getting modality. However, he showed me that when I couldn't be what I thought I needed to be to deserve his love, when I couldn't be, the good housewife and the good mother taking care of the children and preparing the meals and there meeting his needs. I was bald. I had a bald head. I had a big belly. I was pregnant with a big belly and a bald head and no breast. I had never felt more ashamed and disfigured. And I'm even going to say I never felt so ugly in my life. He loved me anyway, even when I couldn't be what I thought I needed to be to deserve his love. He still loved me. And that baffled me. I didn't think that that was even possible in a romantic relationship, because I believed a story up until that point that I had to be these things. And if I wasn't those things, then I wasn't deserving and he would leave me. That's what I honestly, truly felt. That was the story I lived. And he blew that story out of the water. And so it taught me that the stories that we have, they keep us in pain, they keep us in lack, and they keep us in limitation, and they hold us back from becoming who we are truly meant to be. And that this life is so short and we never know how much time we have. So at the end of my life, I want to know that I learned how to love him unconditionally as he showed me in those moments. That he doesn't need to be this, this, and this for me to love him or for me to want to meet his needs. That I just love him anyway. I accept him anyway. I have nothing to defend. I have nothing to prove. And I can be at complete peace about that. I want to know at the end of my life that I was a light to others, that I helped them break out of their cycles of pain. I helped awaken them to the false stories that they've been living just as I was for so many years, so that they can wake up and be like, I know who I am. I know why I'm here. I have that perspective. If I were to pass away in a year, if I were to leave my loved ones 3 years from now, that I have complete peace and contentment about who I am and the way that I lived my life, and the way that I loved, the way that I gave of myself to others. I want to help be a catalyst for change in other people's lives, the way that I've had mentors and friends be there for me and get me through those things and help me awaken. It's almost like a disruption. I want to be a disruptor, a disruptor of the false stories that are in us, that are in our relationships, that are in our world, and get to the truth of who we are. So at the end of your life, you can know that you're the person you want to be. And you've left a legacy of healing, a legacy of peace, a legacy of empowerment as well. And that can expand out through generations of time, generations and generations and generations, and touching so many lives. We honestly have no idea the impact that we have, and how every single time our life touches another person, it has a ripple effect that expands outward. So I want to be a part of that. And I encourage you, who do you want to be at the end of your life? Imagine your funeral. Who's speaking? Who gets up? What do they say? What does a dear, dear family member say about you? What does a dear friend say about you? What legacy did you leave for them? What does a colleague or a coworker, a peer say about you? Someone from your community. What is the impact that you made in this life? What is the legacy that you gave that is bigger than you and that will continue on long after you're gone? What is that? So really take some time to sink into that. And if you have some discomfort, embrace that, because it is a gift and it is there to teach us if we allow it. We can recognize at any moment, I've gotten off track. I've let the distractions of life consume me. I've let my own pain, my own difficult circumstances blind me from who I really am. Or I've lived a story that is not who I really am, and it's keeping me stuck, and I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to let it all go and live true to who I really am. So I encourage you to do this exercise. In fact, I say it's vital, it's essential. It's what we're really here. It's what it's all about. So I just wanted to share that message with you and share that experience I had going through. It feels like a rebirth, right? We hear in the scriptures, be born again. It feels like a rebirth. And we can choose that at any moment. You don't have to have a doctor look you in the eyes and tell you that you're not going to make it. I had that experience, and it was what I needed to shake me up, to wake me up. But I know that we have the power within us at any moment to give ourselves that good dose of reality, to envision, to do that visualization. What does your funeral look like? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? If you want to join me in this quest, if you want to join me in this journey, I would love to walk with you side by side, hand in hand, as my mentors have done for me. So if you would love that, let me know. If you put in the comments, no regrets, no regrets, then I'll reach out to you and let you know that I'm there with you and that we can do this together. We can go on this journey. So at the end of our lives, we can live with absolute peace and assurance that we became who we were meant to become. We didn't waste a single day. I say this often. This is my mantra. Life is short. Time is precious. Let's make the very, very best of it. My heart, my love, my appreciation go out to you. May this day be a day of healing, a day of maybe disruption, a day of discomfort, but a day of growth, a day of progress. My blessings go out to you. I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.